Oh hi, it's your old buddy Zoo here, and today I'm doing a quick video on Gamehub on my Odin 3. Now I was going to take the week off, obviously that's not the case because I'm doing a video right now, and it's because I was playing Gamehub on the Odin 3 here. I was having such a good time, I thought I should share it with you, the loyal viewers of Retro Handhelds. Last year I ended up overpacking a lot. I brought a bunch of devices, and I got to the point where I really didn't use any of them because I had too many options. I ended up farting around on my phone on the plane right here, and I played it a little bit on my 34XX on the way back. But this year I said no more, and I packed the Odin 3 to play all of my Game of the Month games for January. Game of the Month is a thing we do on our Discord. You can check it out at retrohandhelds.link/discord, and people normally vote on 3 games to play and complete in the month for points. The last 2 Januaries, though, have been dealer's choice. Get it? Because I'm in Las Vegas? So you get to pick any 3 games you haven't finished from the games that have won over the last couple years. To make a long story short, I picked a Game Boy Advance game, which worked great on this, by the way. I picked Area of Sorrows, and then I picked Final Fantasy Tactics and Front Mission. Now, those last 2 games have great original versions, and they also have some pretty good remasters on original hardware. They also have great Steam remasters. But wait, Zoo, you brought an Odin 3! That doesn't have SteamOS, it can't play Windows games. Wrong! It can play Windows games through Gamehub, and that's what I have running here. I got Dragon Quest Builders 2 in all its glory. Gamehub is available on the Google Play Store, and Too Long Didn't Read, it's a super simple version of apps that have been available for a while. So you could previously play Windows games through Winilator, but there are some caveats. If you like tweaking settings all afternoon, then this is the thing for you. If you want to turn a game on and play, Winilator wasn't it. Gamehub simplifies all of it. You just plug in your Steam credentials, and it gives you your library. You can download the games you want. It will download any related dependencies or extra files you need. And for the most part, most of your games are just going to open up and run. You might need to tweak a little bit here and there, but my experience so far, at least, has been like 80-90% of my stuff has just opened up and been plug and play. Now, we've done some guides and some showcases on Gamehub in the past. I'll link them here. And we also have some friends of the channel that have done really long videos. I'll also link those in the description. This is just a quick and dirty, I was playing this and I wanted to show everybody. First, we have Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, this game isn't super demanding, but I can run it on medium performance mode and average around 8 watt TDP at 60 FPS. I played this game for a few hours now, and the only issue I had was with the 2.5D bokeh effect. It was glitching a bit and making the vignette about 10 times darker than it needed to be. I turned it off, and it runs great, super cool. I also grabbed Front Mission from my Steam library, and it's basically the same as Final Fantasy Tactics. It runs on a pretty low power draw and at a steady 60 FPS. I've seen a handful of graphics glitches, like with a random missing texture here or there, but it's 100% playable. Even more demanding games will also run surprisingly well. I have Kakarot on here because I was in college in the early 2000s, so of course I like Dragon Ball Z, and it's running at a pretty steady 30 FPS on that same medium setting. If you bump it up to high performance, it'll run silky smooth. As you're going through your Gamehub library, you'll notice there's these little icons, and it'll let you know if it's recommended. Does it work? Does it play great? Are there some issues? Now with my Steam library, and maybe it's just the games I play, a lot of them didn't have that on there at all, so I had to guess. And like I said earlier, about 80 to 90% of the games I picked, they ran. And the ones that didn't run off the bat, with a little bit of tweaking, they worked fine, like Dragon Quest Builders 2. Dragon Quest Builders 2 required me to change the wine layer, and then I had to click through some Windows settings, and then it ran fine. One caveat though, especially if you're on an airplane with really bad or non-existent Wi-Fi, is cloud saves. I was able to play Final Fantasy Tactics on the plane for about 2.5 hours, and it gave me a warning like, hey, you're not connected to the internet, your cloud save might not sync. And I said, oh boy, I don't want to lose 2 hours of work. But I got to the Airbnb, I hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and lo and behold, it just sunk. Synced? Is it synced? Did this file sync or sunk? This video is going to be sunk if I can't figure it out. And that is something you're going to want to consider, especially if you're going to take a Gamehub device on a plane or somewhere where you might not have Wi-Fi. You're going to want to run it successfully at least once at your house on your local Wi-Fi so you can download anything you need, maybe push some saves out or draw saves from your Steam library. But then if you run it in airplane mode or without any Wi-Fi, chances are you should be okay. Just don't let the battery die or anything like that. It'll save it locally and then push it. Just don't let those files go away and you should be fine. Anyway, this isn't a super in-depth video. It's more of a hype video because I was actually hyped about the performance I got with Gamehub on my Odin 3 here. I was pleasantly surprised, to say the least. And actually, it feels kind of good to have a positive video, especially after that video I made last week. Some of you may have seen my angry rant that may have provoked some changes with a certain hardware company. I am the hero. So what did we learn? And we learned that Gamehub runs great. Gamehub on a super powerful device like the Odin 3 here runs even better. And then by leveraging those two, you can play a pretty sizable chunk of your existing Windows or Steam library on something like the Odin 2 or your phone. You can even use touchscreen controls if you need to. It's a cool way to access your Windows games in a situation where maybe you don't want to drag along your whole Windows handheld and the cords and your battery and your bag and all that other jazz. Anywho, this video was pretty short and sweet. I wanted to just get one out, honestly, to continue my Wednesday video streak. But we are going to go back to normal videos starting next week. And oh, by the way, keep an eye out for our CES recap podcast we're going to drop later in the week. We got the RH crew here. We got Rob, the Retro Tech Dad. We got Mike from Team Retro. We got Russell Decor, my sometimes friend, sometimes enemy. This week's been pretty good. He's here from Retro Game Core. We're going to do our video. We're going to let you know what cool stuff we saw at CES and what stuff maybe you can you can pass on. Like one of them toilets that has a blender in it to cut up all your poop-hoops. It's unsettling. It was a very unsettling demonstration. Anywho, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.